kings and queens, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Zoe Inspiration UG. Well, for those of you who are here for the first time, I am a content creator, a winning TV Teenies personality, and best director, News Media Challenge Uganda. I am currently working as a public relations officer. I am simply here to do what I do best, that is inspire you to aspire to inspire before you expire. In case it's your first time on my channel, do remember you have to subscribe so that you can, keep receiving this same information, more entertainment, more updates and all that in my world. Yeah, so I get it, we are all under some kind of tension, due to the lockdown situation and the coronavirus going on and on, but I am here to help somebody out there that has freshly graduated, or somebody that has actually lost a job and now you look up to your next job interview for something that you'd actually want to work on. So I have a few tips for you, and these are the do's and don'ts of a job interview. First, we have the do's. I'm going to give you a couple of do's. Number one, do be confident. Yeah, so I understand interviews can create some kind of tension for us, You're about to go in, you walk into this room, or it's a big company, you've never met these people before, so definitely you're nervous, and it's simply human. So when you enter this particular room, actually let's rewind right back to where you're preparing for this interview. First of all, we need to look at how you appear. First impressions matter, and that is your outside appearance. Are you smart enough? So if it's a job interview and it's office setting, you can look at my outfit right now. It's decent. Yeah, it's an office wear, it's a suit, it can work. Just don't go in for these bright colors because they'll distract you from the purpose. It's distracting, And then makeup, ladies, do maybe a nude look. If you really have to do makeup, I have a nude look. It's quite simple. You don't need to do the lashes because we're not here to interview dolls. And then of course you have to have decent hairstyles, no bright colors again. Just really be decent because you're representing what you are. Unless you're being interviewed for the fashion industry, do keep it decent. Okay, do some research. Ladies and gents, you gotta do your research. Like, nothing beats an interviewer more than a person who's aspiring to join their company, yet they do not know facts about their company. You don't know the name, you don't know what products or services they sell. So go online, do some research, ask some friends or colleagues that could be working there. Even when you enter, I think there's a time I actually befriended a receptionist right before my job interview, and I went ahead to ask a few facts about the company, and trust me, when I went in there, I just nailed it completely. But we are in this era where everybody's online. Do some research, hop online, use that data for something useful, because you don't need this interview to go well, right? Yeah, there's commonly asked questions at job interviews. These are competence questions. Being competent means you can actually do the job really well. So they'll ask you questions to really see if you're lazy, if you're hardworking, if you're the perfect fit for this job. So competency questions are actually key for you when you're preparing for this job interview, so you need to answer them really well. Let's say somebody will be like, tell me about yourself. This is not a chance for you to jump in and be like, hey, I love cats, I love eating, unless the company of course is hiring you to eat. But you need to align these questions really well and answer them well. Do talk about your strengths while at this job interview. Why? Because this is the only chance you have to market yourself. Usually how you can actually market yourself, the question they ask is, tell me about yourself. That is the magic question. That is when you have to fire your best shot. Tell me about yourself is more like, tell me about your background. Who are you? What have you done in your past? What are you bringing on board for us? But careful right there, because you don't want to over chit chat and get somebody bored. Just practice your outline way of describing yourself. What schools have you been to? That is if you've not graduated. And what course did you do? For those of you who have experience, talk about your previous workplace, the accomplishments you've done. Find a brief way of actually talking about yourself, showing your strengths. As for weaknesses, use them in a way to show your strength. For example, personally, I have a weakness of being a perfectionist. So when I'm at a job interview, I usually bring it out in a positive way. So you should do the same. Let me run it through for you. So I'm like, well, I am a perfectionist. One thing about me is that I like doing things to perfection. And the problem with that is that sometimes as a manager I can put pressure on the team, but such a weakness can always be worked on. So I'm a perfectionist, yes, but I can try to work on it. So still you've shown a weakness that is still a strength, because hey, who wouldn't want to hire a perfectionist, for crying out loud? Like, you're like, my weakness, I am such an early bird. I usually reach before and I find the office still closed. So maybe I'll work on that. Okay, I'm just exaggerating, but seriously, when you're looking at weaknesses, don't say, oh, I am lazy, I hate waking up early, blah blah blah. You're killing your opportunity, darling. So just say something weak, but make it look positive, okay? Being a perfectionist is not a good thing, because nobody's perfect. But if you're a perfectionist, that is weakness, but it's positive to our company, we definitely hire that. Okay, so before we go any further, kindly take some time to tap on the subscribe button below and click on the bell's notification. Next on my list, I want to talk about the salary issue. I know most of us want jobs because we want the dime, right? You want money, definitely. So most of us don't know how to go about the salary thing. The good thing, I've been mentored on how to go about that question. Sometimes they'll give you a paper to sign on the salary that you're expecting. How much do you want to be paid? They could ask you. So some of you will go ahead to mention the amount. Let's say, of course, it's your first job, you think $1 million is a lot. You'll be like, yeah, $1 million. And then they'll tell you that is net pay. You don't understand those things. You won't even go ahead to research. After all taxes has been deducted from your salary, how much are you left with? That is net pay. So do make sure to do all that research regarding salary. When it comes to salary and the exact amount you want to earn, this is what you need to ask first of all. They'll be like, how much do you want for this position? How much do you expect? So this should be your answer, ladies and gents. Be like, how much are you willing to offer me? Of course, you've already expressed how much you want the job. You've shown them your interest. You've talked about all the experiences. So this is the time for you to ask how much they're willing to offer. They know your value, unless you haven't put it on table. Let's say you have 10 years work experience. You've written so many things for your previous company. I'm a PR, so maybe I've done a successful campaign. They all know about it, and they see that I'm quite valuable. Now they ask me how much I want. Of course, I have to ask for that, what I deserve, depending on my value offered here. So when they ask you how much you want to earn, you should ask them, how much are you willing to offer? What is your budget? Because you want to know and avoid the situation where you ask for too much or too little. You could have already done your research about this company and their salary structure, but if you haven't, that is the safest question to ask, because you don't want to underpay yourself or ask for something that is too much, whereby you scare them off from getting the job. The common mistake that most of us actually make is undervaluing ourselves in terms of the salary we ask for. So you want to really be safe and be in between. Always give in terms of range from what you want exactly. Usually, personally, when I'm asking for salary, I put a range. I'd like to earn between, let's say, 1 to 3 million, depending. That's if I want $1 million minimum. So if you want $1 million minimum, of course you put it higher so that they come down. You get, you fall in between. So personally, from experience, I remember going for a job interview, and then I talked to my mom. I'm like, mom, it's my first job. She's like, usually when jobs are starting, they can give you around 300 to 500k. And I'm like, hell no, I cannot ask for that money, mom. It's too little. Because what I had done is that in my recent past, I was volunteering at so many companies, and my CV had been building like 10 years plus in experience of different projects here and there. I felt that my value had grown. I had learned so many things. So when I got this job opportunity, I actually asked for what I felt I deserved. And that is exactly what companies are going to hire you for. Your value. It's not about the money. So sometimes people are scared to ask for what they want, so they don't get it. I'm here to encourage you out there. Know your value and don't settle for less. Always ask for what you want, okay? Still on the do's of job interviews, last on my list is ask them some questions as well. yeah, do ask them some questions as well. Yeah, so most times when they're done interviewing you, they could be like, do you have anything else to say? Do you have anything in addition? Of course, somebody will be like, no, but that is the wrong answer. They're also interviewing you to see if you can actually ask questions, because an interview is about them asking you questions and you asking. It's an interaction. So of course, this is when you can ask questions to again show your value. For example, you could ask about their working hours. You could ask for their expectations of you. Let's say they'll tell you they expect you to work even on public holidays, so that you know if this really suits you. Because after this, there is a shortlist that could be made, and then they call you back thinking you're a potential candidate, yet you didn't ask these questions. So ask some questions as well. This is all I have for you today. I hope you've enjoyed my do's of job interviews. Part 2, I do tackle on the don'ts of a job interview. So watch out for my upload, and do remember to subscribe so that you do not miss out. Okay? I love you guys. Have yourselves a wonderful time. Do remember to aspire to inspire before you expire. I'm out of here, guys. Bye.
The inspiration.